What's up with it, man? Polo Sports Talking ENT. Uh, Here again with another one. I'm a little bit fighting like the sniffles just a little bit. So uh, if you hear me sounding a little bit under the weather, don't trip. I'll be back 100%. But nevertheless, still delivering it to y'all like I'm supposed to. Make sure you hit that like, sub, comment, notifications. Make sure you do all that. Okay. Um, Polo motivation, bro. And look, man, a lot of y'all gotta stop backtracking. Don't backtrack for nobody or no one or nothing, you know. And what I mean is if you're gonna put your best foot forward into something, make sure you do it to the do it to the fullest, man. So what I mean by that is, some of y'all, man, y'all get involved into something like a career path that you might have chose or got involved in something in which you thought that it was going to be one type of way, and then you discovered, oh man, shoot, what have I got myself into? Well, you make your bed, you lie in it. And that's what I'm saying. If you're going to do something, you're going to have to make sure that you don't backtrack on it at all. And a lot of times, with whatever you're doing, there are going to be certain obstacles and certain failures that you're going to experience. But what is that? What does that mean? That means you're going to quit when it gets tough? Nah, man, you got to stand on that, man. You got to stand on that. Why do you think so many athletes are successful the way that they are? It's because they stand on what they say. They stand on what they mean. Like, what you gonna give up because a few people, or a lot of people don't want to be around you no more, don't want to choose to partake in what you got going anymore. Nah, that don't mean you gonna backtrack or you gonna quit. Nah, nah. That's when you gotta. That's when you gotta step it up because there's a reason why people don't want to be around. There's a reason why people are leaving. There's a reason why people are going in a different direction. You know, and look, parting ways is a part of life. You might as well get over that thing right now because you're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna be scandalous, that are gonna tiptoe their way out, and they're gonna backtrack. They're gonna be like, you know what? I don't think this is for me. When you thought that they was gonna be all in. That's why, like, whenever you do something, you need to be all in and make sure that you all in for it. You got so many people out here that choose to be. They want to be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And those are the people that you don't want around you. Seriously, think about it. really you got to go back in the time and really think about it. See, when you get older, you have okay, like when you start off, you'll have like a lot of people that are that are with you in terms of being, you know, a lot of friends. You might go from like you might have like 60 friends that are all in what you're doing, and then they slowly disappear as you get older because your mindset might change. Your mindset might drift off into something different that people are not interested in. Your mindset might change into something different that different groups of people are interested in, but they choose not to partake because they feel some type of way about it. You know, like for instance, okay, like I was watching BMF, uh, and BMF. For those of y'all don't know, it's about Big Meech and Black Mafia fam, and it's a show based on uh, Big Meech and Southwest T's uh, organization. Well, the reason why I bring that up is because Big Meech had a vision in which nobody saw, and he didn't want to just be just any old uh, drug dealer or crime boss or whatnot. You know, he wanted to be the king. He wanted to run every single thing and stuff. And in the process, there were a lot of people that saw his vision, but there were very few that saw his vision, and there were a lot of people that were going against him, you know, and he became successful. However, you know, living that life, you got to expect some consequences. And unfortunately, for all the money that he made and all the success that uh, all the camaraderie and all the success that he had got on the streets, it ultimately led to his demise in terms of imprisonment. But what I'm saying is don't look at the imprisonment. Look at how he didn't backtrack on anything. He didn't have one foot in and one foot out. He gave his life pretty much to what he was doing. And see, that's part of being obsessed at what you do. You know, a lot of these athletes, they have an obsession. A lot of these actors, they have an obsession. These entertainers, they have an obsession. You know, even you being just a regular person, you might have an obsession with being being the best dressed, or you might have an obsession with cooking or something like that. Well, if you're obsessed with that, then you would be a hypocrite if you backtrack, so don't backtrack in nothing that you do. Don't backtrack in anything that you do. And a lot of us getting this notion like, like with Deontay Wilder, that's why I said I don't want Deontay Wilder to take any type of break, you know. And that's not to say that he's gonna backtrack or anything like that. But if you're gonna do it, you gotta go full force. You gotta go full force. What's up with it, T Price? Be sure be sure to subscribe to T Price. T Price, I'm gonna look next time. Just look at the feeds and stuff like that. I got you. I ain't forgot about you, man. UT has been acting really, really, really funny, man. YT not getting my notifications out, this, that, and the third, man. So, but go subscribe to T Price channel. Definitely, definitely always bringing flame. LDBC brother all day. I'm a little under the weather, T Price, man. So, but nevertheless, man, still doing it. But anyways, man, don't backtrack in what you do. You're always gonna fight something. You know, it's a game. You know, and people play Monopoly. People play Monopoly, but they apply it to life. They apply it to life. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's the change of the weather, man. And down here in Texas, uh, you could definitely feel it. You could feel it in your sinuses, with your ear, nose, and throat, and you can feel it in your bones too if you've had old injuries and stuff like that. So you can definitely tell when it's getting ready to, the weather is changing and stuff. But as I was saying though, there's very few people in this world that want to be all in. There's there's very few people that want to be loyal to what they do, loyal to a person, loyal to their marriage, loyal to their job, loyal to their business, loyal to their kids, loyal to their loved ones, loyal to their regular friends. And what pisses off a lot of people, that's why a lot of people don't they choose not to, in this society now you see a lot of people saying that they don't want no friends. They want to be dolo, they want to stay to themselves and all this other stuff. You know why? Because they got a lot of people around them that backtrack. They got a lot of people that backtrack. But to save you the grief, to save you the hurt, to save you the anger, to save you the disappointment, to save you the disparity, to save you the distraction, you gotta make sure that in your mind that you know that you're not gonna backtrack. So if somebody else backtracks in, it's not gonna be any surprise to them. And they might backtrack like several times. You know, for instance, if if y'all all put money down uh, and invest into into getting a building or a business, and you know, let's say it's like five of y'all, right? All five of y'all put in because y'all want to do a certain business. I mean, it could be a restaurant, it could be a lounge, a club, um, a fitness. fitness business, a clothing line store, whatever. You name it, whatever. You fill in the blank. And then one person decides, well, they might make something up. They might be like, I, I don't know about this and everything. I want to take my money and everything. And they might have put like 500 to 1,000 down. And that one person, it causes a domino effect because then that person's gone and then those other people see it. And because things aren't going that that fast and they're moving slow because a lot of businesses in the first in the first couple of years, they tend to go pretty slow. And so a lot of a lot of people you see a lot of people not having faith in it and stuff like that until it really starts jumping off. And then okay, now you down, a couple of the other people have left, so now it's down to just two people. And then so it's just you and the other guy. Originally y'all had five people, and now you and him are starting to have to do double the work. And the other guy's getting frustrated, the other guy's getting overwhelmed and everything, but you're doing your best to motivate him. And then guess what? You can only do so much. You don't control him. You're not an avatar. You can't He's not an avatar. You can't get into his mind and control how he thinks or anything like that. So he bounces. And guess who's there? It's just you. So that leaves all of the work for you. The rent still has to be paid, the merchandise, the product, you know, uh, you still got to keep electricity on, things of that nature. And it takes grind, blood, sweat, and tears and everything. And then all of a sudden, guess what? You start blowing up. Guess what you didn't do? You didn't backtrack and you stay with it. And see, that happens. That happens every day in life. You might want to quit a job right now. You might hate that job. You just like, man, dawg, I'm putting in so many hours. I'm not reaping the benefits of this place and everything. You leave, and guess what? They raise the pay. They raise the pay. The companies start doing stuff and everything, and then you try to go back, and guess what? They'll be like, "Well, you've ran your course here," or better yet, they won't even treat you the same. They'll treat you like they'll treat you like you didn't even work there before, but you might have worked at that company for maybe about, I'll say about 4 years, 3 or 4 years. But because you quit on them, they felt like you backtracked, you know. Some people have a mentality, and me, I have a no excuse type of mentality. I have a no excuse type of mentality. You know, if if I feel like some things are not going my way, I cannot make any. I am a no excuse type of person. And see, when you backtrack, that's sort of like making excuses in the sense that you're like, I don't know about this because blah 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 blah. Nah, I better not. I'm hesitant because of blah 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 blah. It's an excuse. It's an excuse type of mentality. And me, I just don't have it. I just don't have it. And that's what you have to do, especially with some of you people that want this and want that and desire to have this and desire to have that. You're not gonna see any type of success if you keep backtracking and keep trying to make all these different various excuses that get you nowhere, because then you're gonna be a victim of your own failure. And me, that's not something that I want around me, and you shouldn't want that around you. You know, being a content creator, it has its challenges, it has its ups and it has its downs. Um, but the thing about it is that if if you're gonna go full force, then you you can't you can't even have the one little itty bit, I mean any bit of thoughts about even quitting or backtracking. And me, I just don't have that. Now, does it try to come in? Does that little voice in my head try to come in or something like that? Yeah, it does. And I'm pretty sure it has for y'all, people out there that's out there doing content create. And I'm not just talking about YouTube. I'm talking about anything that you desire to do, that you create and that you're putting together. You know, if if you're a person that wants to wants to get in the military one day, but you keep getting denied and everything, you're like, you know what, maybe it's not for me or anything like that. Guess what you're doing? You're backtracking, And some people might say, well, Polo, maybe it's not for me. No, yeah, it is for you. You're just not willing to go above and beyond. Those people that are wanting to go in the military, guess what? They're about to get in because they did what was necessary in order to get sworn in. It's the same thing with any type of endeavor that you do. And I'm talking to my young people now. I'm talking to my young lions and my my young kings and my young queens out there. You know, the way that you got to look at the way I look at that person has a heart like me. That person got a brain like me. That person got two legs and two arms. And when they get cut, they bleed just like I do. So why am I not able to accomplish the same thing that they are? And that's how you have to look at it as. They're not backtracking. They're not hesitant. They're not trying to let anything stop them. You know, they're not trying to let anything stop them by any means. You know, these people that you see and that a lot of you worship, and it's sad that a lot of y'all worship, these people when they're really just human beings just like you. They just worked and dedicated themselves. Now some people have been in blessed positions and they've been at the right place at the right time, but the majority of them just outworked everybody. But some of those people that you worship and that you are fanatics of, and that you have emotional attachment to, guess what? They didn't backtrack. They got to where they are because they didn't backtrack. They got to where at the level that they were because they didn't backtrack. They made a decision. They stuck with it. You know, uh, when they were sick, they still were able to work while they were sick. When it was raining, they didn't care about any type of rain. They still got out there, rain, sleet, or snow. When they were hurting, psh, pain is weakness leaving the body. When people tell them that they couldn't do this or they couldn't do that, guess what? They said, "Well, I believe that I can." And it might sound cheesy, but I mean, really, a simple statement like that. If you tell somebody that, you'll be surprised um, what how much better you will do instead of getting mad and letting that person get to you and make you angry. You'll be surprised at what the outcome will be. You know, so just don't backtrack on anything. I don't care what it is, and your attitude needs to be by any means necessary, and you have to develop that. You have to develop that. You know, small hiccups happen, but you have to have the willpower and you have to have the motivation not to backtrack. It's always going to be something that's going to throw off your routine. Um, you don't have to be superhuman. You just got to have just regular willpower. And, you being able to have the ability to bounce back instead of backtracking because you want to bounce back, especially after you take a L. You see, that's why like I don't want Deontay Wilder to take any type of break, because if he bounces back like nothing happened, like it's a short term memory, guess what? That's gonna show how resilient he is. He's like, okay, oh well, shoot, I lost. Still got to go out there and see. Not many people will be able to do what he did. He had alone step foot into a ring. You know, you know. Um, the way that you don't backtrack is to make sure that you fit everything that you do into your life. You know, um, man, make sure that you put putting it on your calendar of what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? So that way you don't have to backtrack or anything. Give yourself a time and a place that something needs to happen and make it a routine. You know what I'm saying? Say at six a.m. every day or every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm gonna work out. But don't backtrack. Don't be like, you know what, nah, I ain't gonna work out. Nah, I don't do that. You know, and it's got to be second nature. It's got to be second nature. You know how, like, when you brush your teeth, well, some of y'all that brush your teeth or take a shower, it's got to be second nature. Well, guess what? You backtracking, it's got to be, it cannot. something you not backtracking, it's got to be second nature for you to be like, you know what, nah, I'm not gonna do it. You know, you got to stick to your schedule and stick to your routine, even in the small ways. You know, if you don't have if you don't have enough time, improvise. If you don't have enough time to do a full workout, hey, just improvise. If you don't have enough time to write a write a book, well, guess what? Just write a paragraph. You know, you don't have time to go on vacation or something like that. Shoot, just take a little bit of small downtime, but don't backtrack on anything. Don't be like, you know what, I ain't gonna be able to do it. No, don't do that. You have to find a way to stick what you're doing, no matter what it is. You know, and the biggest thing too is you need to focus on what you can work with. Uh, this is true, especially when you tend to slip up and get off track off of what you're doing. Anytime we don't get things done, you know, we we start coming up with all these excuses. Why didn't you start that business? Or why didn't you go to the gym or anything? It's always an excuse. Well, I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or I don't know enough people. I don't have the experience. Yada 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 yada. No, you got to change all that. You got to say, I can do this. I can work with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I'm gonna find a way because your circumstances. See, a lot of y'all make your circumstances prevent you from progressing, and you might not like where you have to start, but guess what? Your progress is it's gonna be slow and sometimes unsexy. It's not gonna be the sexiest thing at all. It's not gonna look good sometimes, but you just have to work with it. You know, um, you got to make sure that uh, you have your environment for your success. Make sure that um, if you think you need, something that motivates you, or you need more willpower for your goals, do it. Do it. You have to. Some days you're gonna feel inspired and you're gonna feel motivated. And then there's gonna be some days like I just don't have time for that bullshit. Hey, you human. You human. And it's supposed to happen. But see, a great way to overcome this is to get right back on track, because then that's what's gonna start you to be like, you know what, I'm a backtrack. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do it and all this other stuff. And then that's when that little voice is gonna come inside your head, you know. And the main thing is that you need to care. You need to care. Because if you care and nobody else does, that's all that matters, really. That's all that really matters. That's all that really matters, man. For real. And see, the problem is that nobody wants to have any type of productive conversation. You know what I'm saying? They want to talk about stuff that's irrelevant and everything. But guess what it's doing? It's not building you up. It's actually destroying you, and you don't even understand it. And guess what? Guess what destroying is? You backtracking. trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. You got to get yourself in order, man. And part of getting yourself in order is making sure that you don't backtrack, making sure the people around you don't backtrack. And from my from my fellas out there that are family men, that have a family, oh, you definitely can't be backtracking. And if you feel like you backtracking, man, get right back on it for real. And even if you don't have no family, you by yourself, man, you don't want to slip up because you got to look out for yourself. You got to look out for yourself. Polo motivation, man. Like this video, share, subscribe. Also hit the notifications too. Till then, man. Polo Sports Talking ENT, man. I'm gonna get at y'all later.